So, it's not really complicated. It is useful, mostly, doing the things that you do because you want to do them. It doesn't turn you into a different type of person or anything. It makes you clear about who you are. The more that you do it, of course. It does take time. Not crazy amounts of time, but some time for sure. Oh. Where is it? Right here. Making myself a midnight snack. Just something nice to eat. All the while, the more I do this, the more inclined I get to get my head in the game. See myself as the same, but never changing. Like true in my essence, but everything else just changes. There's a thought about the essence, about what it is, really. What is your essence? But I guess it's something you just know, but you can't. You can't put into words. Something that you understand. You comprehend because we all have it, in essence. So it doesn't really change who you are in any way or form. It keeps you practical, sensible. You're not dividing your thoughts into different areas. Understanding, you're just clear when it comes to essence. When it comes to everything else, it's dualistic. It has the nature of more than just one. So, what do you do with something like that, right? What do you characterize it as? I guess you just sense it for what it is. And you keep it that way. You don't try to struggle or define it. You just wish it all the same. It's not necessarily too clear what that communicates about you. But seeing if you sense that the things that you do are okay, so to speak, because you keep on doing it. So, on one level of mind, you know that it is something that's okay, something that's useful for you. But on a different level of being, you might contemplate it quite profoundly. Not really being understood. Right? In the sense that you want to keep in mind that this kind of thought, this kind of feeling, this kind of being, the more understanding I get, the more freedom from selfhood I correct. It's internalized, just place your feelings in it. You'll continually explore, continually grow. You might notice that Okay, there's a form of being that has its own choice, has its own way of noticing you. And the more you deal with it, the more tricky it gets. Like, I can sense that I'm telling you a story. But the more I tell it, and you're listening to it, the trickier it gets. Start to resemble something of, no, I shouldn't name it right here because that gives it a sense of being reduced to just one word. I'll take you with me instead, and you get to perceive it for yourself. So develop that intention within you, alright? Intention of growth. Noticing, how am I holding back? How am I seeing? Am I being free, flowing when I'm outside socializing, for example, or just outside being me? Even if I'm not socializing, am I being unstifled? Or do I sense that there's some stifling within my chest for me to not express my true being in the way I walk, in the way I feel, the way I express emotions? Am I repressed? I think it's a question most of us need to ask ourselves more. Just to sense what that might be. To not know who you are when you're outside. You might even have the trouble of repressing yourself when you're alone inside in your apartment or house. That's a whole other issue. But you could probably relate to this then. Developing the thinking, dealing with it, sensing that it has so much choice over you, needing it to be less, a fraction less. You would see. And the things that you notice would be kept by you, free, fully free. They wouldn't trouble you as well, I think. I think they have more of a message to put forward. One designed by you, seeing that you cause it interaction and notice that interaction is still going on. I believe that happens because you're fully grasping the thought, the idea, and the notion that this is just your mind. It's not you. It can be difficult to sense that within you. Sense that what you seek, or at least what you tell yourself that you ought to seek, is part of a grander idea. And that idea might not be yours. It might be tempting to think that it's yours, but it's not necessarily yours. You might actually be in the way of being that it's someone else's entirely. That can be hard to sense. But if you truly look deep inside, if this fits you, that is, you might find out that nope, I'm just following someone else's plan, not my own. It can be especially true if you're thinking too much. Can really all of those thoughts that you have be yours? Or is it just things you picked up here and there? Can really all of those thoughts be yours? Or are they just things you picked up here and there? I felt it in the repetition. I felt it need repeating. No, I just don't come to be the way I am because I'm thinking the thoughts of others. I can learn from it, be inspired by it, but I don't become who I am by doing so. Actually, thinking really gives problems instead of being a direct being. You're quite indirect because you're still thinking and then dealing with things after the hand. So you might see to it that, oh, this is great. This is what he has going on for it. This is the sense of what it is. And in some ways it might be. Others it's not. More than just that. It's freeing. Freeing to deal with it however you like. Something that it comes to more and more fruition the more you deal with it. It's part of it. What you think of, what you see. What you feel free to do. I'm undecided by the things that come to benefit me. They are part of my action. They fall alongside the same sense of me being here, right where I'm at. Nowhere else. Just fully communicating, fully being present. Despairing, though, at the same time. Can you have both? Being present, but at the same time despairing about what or who you are? It's confusing, isn't it? It shouldn't be, right? Just be, oh, you're out of the present moment because you have those negative thoughts. I don't think so, naturally. I think it's a dichotomy, a difference between myself and the ego. The ego is despairing and the self is just observing, being aware of what the ego is doing. Now the question is, should I care? Should I care about what the ego is doing since literature states it's an illusion? That's a question that's been boggling me. I've been pondering about it. I'm not really coming to a place where I can define it. I sense that if I create any traction in it, I might realize that the default way of thinking that I have will change. And that transformation, that change, might be very, very pleasant. So in a sense, I'm looking forward to it. Because change really, usually, is good. You gotta take it from yourself and release into this unknown part. The mystery is really the answer. Not knowing where to go, but still moving one step forward. If you stay, if you're stuck, if you're stagnating, then you're not taking any real actions. But can you really stagnate when you're not really thinking? You're having thoughts, but you're not trying to control those thoughts. They just are. Ones to observe. I deal with the same dimensionality that I always dealt with. There are layers to this, and I'm interested. It's something that's fun to me to go deeper into those layers, to understand them, seeing, oh, what is this, and what more is there. But it trips me, because I might find myself being where I've been before. So, I'm doing something to change that, which is one of the reasons why I'm documenting this, because then I can notice, one of the main reasons, I will notice where I'm at, where I'm going. Plus, hopefully this can be a learning experience for someone. Who knows? Right. You need to change your habits, I would say. Deal with developing yourself. Because that's important in today's society. We're always growing. We are the ones thinking the most about our developing of ourselves. It's not like before where we needed a carrot from someone else to grow. No, we're giving ourselves that carrot. We're pushing ourselves. Always forward. Never really stopping. It really is not that deep. It's just everyone else is doing it, so why wouldn't we? A sense of groupthink that is causing so much burnout today. Still, we do what we do. We move on and we claim it as our truth. Let's find that way somehow. You don't cause yourself to give too much attention to the sounds around you. No, it just happens. It begins and you slowly enter. All of a sudden you're aware that, oh, I'm in it. This space where I'm noticing everything that sounds harmonizing around me. For me, usually it's the wind, but it can be different objects that are present in the room or the apartment. It can also be the neighbors or just the elevator. It's always something. And I truly enjoy the space it gives me. I believe what Helen Watson said, to meditate, first listen. Start by doing that. And I find that is my natural way of going into deeper states of awareness. Somehow, like, it chose me because I was trying the breathing technique and it worked. But I started doing more of this. Just listening, being. And it wasn't in dealing with myself that I made the plans that I made. It was with dealing with the environment that I'm in. My reaction to it as well, but mainly what tools that I have around me. Had I had different tools, I probably would have been doing something different. But with the tools at hand, and I'm happy to have them, I made what is available to me. Still looking for other things that I can use in documentation. Since I'm planning to do this, why not use everything at hand? It'll be more fun that way. Much more fun. So there's really no need to be free from yourself. Truly. Because the actual act of trying to be free from yourself is only keeping you in the same place. Stuck. In prison. It's when you let go of that you naturally go through the motions necessary to be freer. And even free. I don't look to change what's happening, but I don't look to be inactive. Finding how those two things come together is the practice. It took me a long time to get here. I wasn't just around doing this that I do, which would be more and more clear that I am doing and will be stuck doing, happily, but stuck doing for a long time. So you want to free your hands to be able to grasp onto other things when they come close to you, effortlessly, of course. You want them to come near to you so that you barely have to put any effort to take hold of it. But before that, you want to free your hands. You want to let go of the things that you're attached to so that more can come. Just holding that thought for a while, maybe a month or two, makes it ingrained within you so that you no longer need to be attached to that thought. It's like a mantra, but not repeated that often, just enough so that it's ingrained. And then you let it go as well. with being attached to a mantra, it's just the same thing. It's a tool. So when it's no longer useful to you, there's no more point to have it in your life. That's why you let it go. You may hold on to a lot of things. It might be scary to let them go, even if you say that you hate those things. It is shaping your identity. It's narrating who you are to yourself. And changing that narration, that story, can be quite difficult, even if you say that you hate it or have intense dislike for it. But that is the practice. That is what you need to do to move forward. Just letting things go. Some call it releasing. Releasing what you're holding on to. Any attachment. Just so that you're free to grasp whatever comes and be spontaneous in your activity when it arrives. You have your own pace when that happens. You probably do have your own pace right now. But it might be difficult to see